One of the first things which everybody should understand is that every creature in the universe that is in any way sensitive and in any manner of speaking conscious regards itself as a human being.
What?
It knows and is aware of a hierarchy of beings above it and a hierarchy of beings below it. That is to say that wherever you are and whoever you are and whatever you are, you're in the middle. That's the game.
Rolling down mountains
Your
as
senses
bears.
extend a certain direction, in all directions, and therefore give you the impression of being in the middle. Because the definition of a person is where you look from.
And how to roll
Everything
down a
in the
mountain.
world feels like that. And also it has its own kind. You see spiders and hydras and sea urchins and so on don't look very natural to us. We say, well, I wouldn't want to look like that. But they say when they see us, well, what kind of an awful thing is that?
What kind of an
And what a
awful
lot
thing
of
is
nonsense
this?
It does.
What a lot of nonsense this is. What? Why would I pay
Now,
money for
we
this?
come
What is
here
this?
Right at the start to an extremely important principle,
Is he a peacock now?
which is
Are they mating?
the different points of view you get when you change your level of magnification.
And now he's a plant?
That is to say, you can look at something with a microscope and see it a certain way. You can
Okay,
look at
that's
it with
cool.
the naked eye and see it in a certain way. You look at it with a telescope and you see it in another way. Now, which level of magnification is the correct one?
This actually reminds
Well,
me of
obviously,
flour.
They're all correct, but they're just different points of view. When we examine our blood streams under a microscope, we see there's one hell of a fight going on. All sorts of microorganisms are chewing each other up. And if we got overly fascinated with our view of our own blood
This is
stream
pretty
in the
epic
microscope,
narration.
we should start taking sides, which would be fatal, because the health of our organism depends on the continuance of this battle. What is, in other words, conflict at one level of magnification is harmony at a higher level. Now, could it possibly be, therefore, that we, with all our problems, conflicts, neuroses, sicknesses, political outrages, wars, tortures, and everything that goes on in human life, are a state of conflict which can be seen in a larger perspective as a situation of harmony?
Is he a bacteria?
Every minute little fruit fly or gnat
And now we're red blood
or
cells?
bacterium, I will go so far as to say, is an event upon which this whole cosmos depends. This thing goes both ways. It's not only that every little organism
See, now this is cool.
depends on its total environment.
We went
The
from
reverse is
bears
also true, that the total environment depends
rolling down
on
hills
each and every one of those little organisms. So that you
to
could say this
bacteria.
universe consists of an arrangement of pattern
This is
in which
something
every event is essential to the whole thing.
entirely different.
Now, we screen that idea out of our consciousness just as we pay attention to the figure and ignore the background. So we see one way of looking at things, namely that the organism is very frail against the environment. It lasts a long time, the environment, but the organism only lasts a short time. But actually, the whole thing is arranged in a polar system where the enormous depends on
we start fighting other people. We start clobbering
Yes.
our neighbors, whatever it is. All
With
the old
somersaults.
fights start. And it is these fights which, more than anything else, at the moment, you see, are endangering the entire human
what is this
all
game
based
trying to
fundamentally
sell?
on the illusion that it's utterly important that we survive.
Is this literally a game to just goof off and
But
mess
you see,
around?
in all this, what underlies is the illusion
I can see it being very relaxing.
that I am going on, that I constitute a real continuity from this moment to the next moment.
I'm definitely digging the visuals. I'm digging the
What are you afraid of
artistic
losing when you die?
artistic vibe here.
Yes, everything that you've acquired as an individual and stored in your
Man, there's
brain
all these different.
is dissolved and distributed.
Wow.
But at the same time, it is equally obvious that when you die, there won't be, following the moment of death, everlasting nothingness.
These are some pretty cool shots. I like this. All these different biomes, if you will.
So
Different wildlife, different
you
machinery.
can
If,
become aware
oh man, that was
of
cool.
this tremendous interconnectedness of everything.
And now we're going Doctor Strange,
Just
Ant-Man.
as fronts go with backs and tops with bottoms, insides with outsides, solids with spaces. So
Wow.
everything that there is goes together.
This must be a wonderful
It
game
makes
to
no
explore.
difference whether it lasts a long time or whether it lasts a short time.
You could just
A
put this on as a
galaxy goes together
screensaver
with
and
all
just
the
let it go.
universe just as much as a mosquito.
And now we have bears in
You get a
space.
certain vision of life
Somersaulting bears in space.
where everything is seen to be a
What?
complex pattern of rhythm.
What is even happening right now?
Dances,
Oh man.
the human dance. the
If
flower
you
dance,
smoke, this game is probably
bee dance,
bananas.
the rat dance. And that's what this all is. It's jazz. You see? This is a big jazz, this world. And what it's trying to do is to see how jazzed up it can get.
It's pretty jazzed up, I'd
how
say.
far out
Pretty
play
far
of rhythm
out.
can go.
Greatness awaits.
PlayStation.
What did we just watch? Wow. So I don't even understand what the game mechanics are. It looked like you can move around. You can zoom in, if you will, to microscopic levels. You can zoom out to galactic levels. So I think the name of everything literally means everything is in this game. Sure, not everything is in this game, but the intent is there. That's pretty cool. I'm guessing it's something like Flower, where you are just moving around, looking at stuff. I don't think there doesn't appear to be any sort of goal to the game. I guess I'd have to do some research and see what else there is, but that trailer just kind of said, hey, pretty cool narration, fancy narration. You don't see stuff like that in trailers, especially 10, almost 11-minute ones. I think it just was trying to grab people and say, hey, look at this really weird game we're making. But they didn't really say a whole lot about what you actually do. I was only half listening to the narration, so if he said something along those lines, well, I guess I missed it. But that was a pretty cool thing to watch. I hope you enjoyed this. We'll do some more of these in the future. Peace.